All right, let's dive right into what is shaping up to be a massive showdown in the world of AI. NVIDIA's next-gen RTX 5090 versus the already incredible RTX 4080 Super. And, this isn't just about making your games look pretty. This is about the engine that's driving the whole creative AI revolution.
So, the big question is, what does all this new power from the 5090 series actually mean for you and your AI projects? Are we talking about a genuine, game-changing generational leap here, or is it just a lot of marketing hype? Let's find out.
We're going to flip the script a little bit today. Instead of making you wait until the end for the big conclusion, we're giving you the answer right now. We're starting with the verdict, and then we'll show you all the proof. And here it is. For anything related to AI and deep learning, the RTX 5090 is the clear, decisive winner. It's not just a small step up. We're talking about a fundamentally different level of performance, especially when it comes to complex models and fast inference. How quickly the AI can actually generate something for you.
Okay, so now you know the what. Let's spend the rest of this explainer digging into the why. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty, the core specs, the architecture, to see exactly how the 5090 pulls so far ahead.
So it really all begins with the design philosophy behind each card. The RTX 5090 is built on the Blackwell architecture, and that is designed for one thing and one thing only: raw, unadulterated computational power. The 4080 Super, on the other hand, uses Ada Lovelace, which is more of a jack of all trades. It's meant to balance great performance with efficiency across a bunch of different tasks.
And just look at the difference this makes. I mean, wow. The CUDA cores are basically the little engines inside the GPU, and the 5090 has more than double the cores of the 4080 Super. That's a massive brute force advantage for any AI calculation you throw at it.
But raw power isn't the whole story. AI models are incredibly hungry for memory, and this is where we see another huge leap. The 5090 comes packed with 32 gigs of the brand new, much faster GDDR7 memory. That's double the 4080 Super. It means you can work with much bigger, more complex AI models without the whole system just grinding to a halt.
And that brings us to the next piece of the puzzle: bandwidth. Think of it like a highway. It doesn't matter how fast your car is if you're stuck in traffic. The 5090's memory bandwidth is more than double the 4080 Super's. It's a much, much wider highway, so it can feed data to all those thousands of cores way faster, keeping everything running at peak speed.
All right, now let's talk about the secret weapon for AI performance: tensor cores. These aren't your regular processors. They are highly specialized bits of hardware designed for one job: to turbocharge the specific kind of math that AI and deep learning rely on. They make AI tasks ridiculously fast.
And this right here is where you see the true generational leap. The 5090's 5th-gen tensor cores deliver over 4 times the raw AI processing power of the last generation. We measure this in AI TOPS, that's trillions of operations per second. Plus, they can handle newer, more efficient data formats, which lets them squeeze out even more performance.
Just take a second and let that number sink in. Over 3,000 trillion operations per second. That single number right there tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the 5090's insane AI capability.
So, to wrap up all the tech specs, here it is, the definitive tale of the tape. We've got everything side by side, and you can see, across every single metric that matters for AI, CUDA cores, tensor cores, memory, bandwidth, the RTX 5090 just completely dominates.
Okay, so specs on a page are one thing, but what does all this power actually mean in the real world? Let's move on from the numbers and talk about the so what. What's the actual impact for you, the person trying to create something?
Just for some context, remember the games we already got with the current generation. The 4080 Super was already a beast, generating AI content way faster than the card before it. Now imagine that, but the jump to the 5090 is expected to be even bigger, much bigger.
So what kind of work are we talking about? Well, this is where you'll really feel the difference. It's things like generating high-res images in Stable Diffusion in seconds instead of minutes. It's running powerful language models locally, right on your machine, which is faster and more private. Or using AI to render crazy complex 3D scenes in real time. That's the stuff that really changes your workflow. Now, gotta have a quick reality check here. As amazing as these cards are, they are not data center GPUs. You aren't going to be training the next GPT-5 from scratch in your home office. They are incredible tools for creators and developers, but training those massive foundation models, that's a whole different ballgame. And hey, if you really want to get into the weeds and see all the detailed benchmarks, the site we pulled a lot of this from is a fantastic resource. We've gone ahead and dropped a link for you in the description. Okay, we've seen the specs, we've talked about performance, so now let's get to the final and maybe hardest part, boiling it all down to the choice you have to make. And that always comes down to balancing raw power with practicality.
So here's the decision in a nutshell. The RTX 5090 is the absolute powerhouse. It's for the professional or the enthusiast who needs the best of the best and wants to be set for years to come. The 4080 Super is the contender. It's still an incredibly powerful card and a much more cost-effective way to get high-end AI work done today.
But that incredible power doesn't just cost more money. Check this out. The power consumption, the TDP, on the 5090 is a massive 575 watts. That's a huge jump, and it means you have to seriously think about your power supply, your case cooling, and probably your electricity bill too.
So how do you actually make the call? Well, it really just comes down to asking yourself 3 simple questions. First, what are you actually doing? Are you constantly hitting the limits of your current hardware? Second, what's your budget? And third, are you trying to buy a machine for the next 2 years or for the next 5? And at the end of the day, that's really what it is. It's a choice between investing in the absolute, future-proofed bleeding edge and grabbing what is, right now, the high-end sweet spot with today's tech.
And that kind of leaves us with one final really exciting thought. As this kind of immense power moves out of the data center and onto our desks, what does that unlock for all of us? What new, insane, AI-powered creative tools are about to become possible for everyone? That's the part that's going to be really fun to watch.